What's up, Zoomers? In this video, we are going to take a look at how you can make beautiful button designs using Tailwind CSS. But before diving into that portion, I would like to share one more way to write Tailwind CSS code. In the previous video, I have shown you how you can install and set up the Tailwind CSS in your local development environment, but they also provide a site called play.tailwindcss.com. And what this site allow you to do, it is more like here you can write your HTML code and at the same time you will get the output. Now this is better because you can now actually edit the configuration directly also. If you are going to use the CDN of Tailwind CSS, which is available on their website, that will not give you the ability to use the config file. So this is the best way to do it if you just want to quickly try some of the designs or to quickly make some components. So in this particular video, and maybe in the next videos also, I might use this particular platform or may use the VS Code as well. So today we are going to build the simple button designs. So before this, I want to mention quick thing, that is the prerequisite for following along this course is CSS. You need to have the basic knowledge of CSS because whenever you want to add a specific class, you need to understand like what would you write in CSS. If you're going to use CSS, what will you write? So, and you do not have to cram any classes from the Tailwind CSS site. Like you do not have to cram all of these classes. All you need to do is just try to understand what will you write in CSS. So for example, if I want to, let's say, add margin, so I might do something like margin dash top of about 2 rem or something, right, in CSS. So in the same way, if you want to do the same thing in the Tailwind CSS, all you need to do is just go to the Tailwind website, just type Ctrl K to pop up the search menu and then search for margin. Okay, when you're going to search about the margin, you will get the page where they will actually explain you the different utility class that are available. So this way you do not have to cram anything, okay? You do not have to remember all of these classes. All you need to do is just quickly figure it out, what are the classes, and as you try to do it like again and again, you will obviously get familiar with it, and there will be a time where you do not have to you don't even have to open the website. So yep. So what we are going to do is, first of all, I'm going to create a div. So here is the div. Now this is going to act as my parent container. So I'm going to do min h screen. So what this class does, it is basically saying the minimum height of this width, this container needs to be at least 100 viewport height. So it is basically going to cover the whole containers, a whole parent container. So if I just give it a color, so for example, if I give here VG grade 200, so which is a light grayish color, so you can see it is changed. If I make it total dark, you can see the whole thing is changed now. So this way you can add the background colors. Now inside it, we are going to have a button. So I'm going to add this HTML button. Alright, so here let's just add some text. For example, click here. Alright, so you can see the default styling is so poor, right? So now we're going to customize it and make it much better. So first of all, we are going to go over here and just add class attribute. Now first thing that I need is going to be the padding. So I'm going to use px-6. So this means 6 units of padding on the x-axis. So if I look for the padding here, so you can see you will find p6, which means padding of about 1.5 rem on the x-axis. So in a similar manner, I will say py2, so which will mean padding on the y-axis of about let me check, of about 0.5 rem. So you will find, if you scroll here, you will find the py-2. Yep, here it is. So you don't have to remember any class. Now I'm going to provide the background color for this button. So BG, let's go with purple and 600. Now you don't even have to remember colors. If you just look for the colors, so you can see these are the various colors that they provides. Alright, so we are done with the color. Now I want to make the text white and I want to make font a little bit bold, so semi bold. Now let's do the text transformation to uppercase, so text will be uppercase. Now let's decrease the font size a bit, so text SM. Okay, so this is text is small. Now let's add some border radius, so rounded dash sm. This will add some border radius along it. Now I'm going to add some margin just for like, because this button is actually so attached to the parent div, so I'm just going to add m4. So this is going to give the margin of 4 units, so you can see this. Alright, so this started to look better. Now you can see this. Now what I'm going to do is increase a bit of the letter spacing. So for this we have tracking, so you can see this. So let's go with wide, and after this let's take a look at the hover style. So if you are familiar with CSS, then there is something called hover style, where you can edit the hover property of any element. So basically when I hover over this button, I want to change, let's say, background, then I can do this. So in Tailwind CSS you can do the same by doing hover, then colon, and then the property you want to do. So for example, bg dash purple and then dash 500. Okay, so in the beginning the background was 600, then it is 500. So now if I hover over it, you can see the background is becoming a bit lighter. Alright, now what we are going to do is add some of the transformation. So we are basically going to increase the, basically scale the button a bit. So for this we are going to use a property called transform. So if you are familiar with CSS, you will find that in order to do any transformation, you need to add first of all the transform, then you can do the scale or rotate or translate. So we are going to use transform, then we are going to say scale dash 105, but we want to do this on hover. So okay, so now if I hover over it, you can see the size of the button is growing. Now this thing is, it is too sharp, right? So you can see it is too sharp, so we are going to add some transition. So again, adding transition in Tailwind CSS is also super easy. You just need to write transition, okay, and then the duration you want. So for example, duration dash 100, and then the function, transition function. So I'm going to go with ease in out. Okay, so now if I hover over it, you can see it is much better now. Alright, so now the next thing that Tailwind provides is the ring styling. So ring is basically a kind of border outside the button which will make them look very good. So let's take a look at the ring opacity property. So you can see outline outside the button is the ring. So we are going to implement it. So in order to do it, first of all we need to take a look at the focus styling, right? So focus style is something when you click on the button. So first of all we want to remove the outline, or let me just do the outline later on, but first of all let's do ring dash 4. So ring 4 is going to provide the width of the ring, so you can see it is giving you some sort of ring. Now we want to change the background color, or you can say the color of ring. So I'm going to use ring dash purple and dash 600. So this is exact same color of the button. Now if you take a look here, you will see that there are some dotted lines, right, which we don't really want. So this is because there is a default property on the focus styling. So if I do here, so they are trying to add the outline, so I'm going to remove the outline when focus. So now if I hover over it, you can see it is better now. The problem is the color of the ring is too dark. So in order to make it light, we can use on hover, we want to say ring dash opacity dash 25. So this is going to add some sort of opacity. Okay, it is not adding opacity. So ring dash opacity, and this, it needs to be on the focus styling. So focus. Alright, so now if I focus, you can see now it is giving us a nice ring style. So you can see this is how you can create a really nice and simple button using Tailwind CSS. Now you might think that it is going to make your HTML a bit messy, right? But in the future videos, I will show you the feature that Tailwind CSS provide, which is called @apply attribute, with which you can actually remove all of these classes and put them into the styles.css file. But for now it is fine. So now I'm going to make one more variant, which is actually going to have the outline thing. So I'm just going to copy paste the link here. I mean, the copy paste the exact same button element. Now I want to remove the background, so we are going to remove this background here. And also when you hover over it, at that stage we are currently adding a background, right? So I am also for now just let it be. So you can see this is the button that we are getting right now. So I am going to change the text color, so text purple dash 600. Okay, now we need to add the border radius, so we are going to say border and dash 2. Okay, and then border dash purple dash 600. So now you can see it started to look better. Now when it comes to the focused state, when it comes to hover state, like when you hover over the button, the text is not that great, right? And the background is also too dark, so I'm going to go with purple 100. So this is also not great. Let's go with a bit darker, 200. Okay, so now you can see this is better. So this is how you can create nice buttons using Tailwind CSS. So one more quick thing to do, which I might cover in the later videos as well. So I'm just going to center these two buttons. Okay, so in order to do it, I'm going to use the flexbox. So again, I will cover flexbox in the upcoming videos on how to implement flexboxes in the Tailwind CSS, but let's just quickly write this. Justify center and items to be center. Okay, so now you can see both of these buttons are in the center. So yeah, this is how you can create really nice looking buttons, and obviously you can create various variant of it. So for example, I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to add one more div here and put these two buttons over here. Now what I'm going to do is take again these buttons and I'm again going to paste it here. All right, so now we can actually change the color. So for example, if you want to change this, if you want to make this button red, so you can just do red, and here red, and also over here red. Now all you need to do is just change the color. So yep, and also over here we're going to go with the red, and it looks like, yeah, that's it. So this is how, okay, but we need to change the background as well, right? So let's just quickly do it. Here I am setting the purple background on hover, so I'm going to change it to red as well. So red. So this is how you can create variants of the button. So I'm going to give you this link of this specific playground. So this button, just click on it and you will get a link. So yep, I'm going to copy this specific URL and I will share with you guys. So yeah, that's it. That's how you can create beautiful looking buttons using Tailwind CSS utility classes.